Hey y'all, I typically make animal videos, and today I'm going to show you briefly how to clean these tower fans right here.
La la la, no, no, la la.
Get all filled up. You can't afford to just run out and buy another tower fan because it gets full of pet hair and stuff. Now, taking apart appliances is definitely not for everybody, and if anytime you don't feel comfortable or you feel like you're in over your head, just put everything back exactly how you got it. It's all good, you know, you don't want to mess it up.
What'd you do?
When you're doing this entire cleaning process, you want to make sure your fan is unplugged except for one step, which you may or may not want to skip. I'll show you later. When you open an appliance like this, of course, safety is number one.
Whoa!
If you tear anything up or knock any wires loose or do anything that you think it's not going to operate, then you just have to throw it away and get a new one. And that's the risk you take when you get into doing these things. But this is relatively simple, as this video shows.
We're gonna show this world a thing or two.
All right, I live near the highway, so we're just gonna have to deal with some background noise. Sorry about that. For simplicity, I got this just right here on my front steps because I have an outlet nearby so I can test the fan, make sure blow everything out when we're done. Really, all we need to clean this out right here, we need some baby wipes. Get these at the Dollar Tree. Just a cheap toothbrush, like good time to change out your toothbrush. Grab your old one, put a new one in. We're gonna use the old one for this. This right here, particular fan, takes a Phillips head screwdriver, so we're gonna get a long Phillips head screwdriver because you got to have it to get down inside the recess. And then for any broken brackets, when you knock these fans over and stuff, there's going to be broken brackets in there. We're just going to have a little Dollar Tree thing of super glue. We're going to fix that stuff while we're in there cleaning. Now, these fans right here are about 25 or 30 bucks. They're not real expensive, but I got two of them. Of course, I have air conditioning, but I have a lot of animals, so I like to have fans to make sure the air is circulated, and I recommend that for anybody who has animals to have at least one of these. Okay, and honestly, if you maintain them, these right here will last just as long as the $100 ones will. Now the wipes are self-explanatory. Of course, this stuff, residue and stuff builds up here on the bottom, hair and stuff like that. We're gonna wipe the outside down and whatever we can get to on the inside with the wipes. So we got the fan laying down on its face right here. Okay, and you can see why we need this long screwdriver because you gotta get down in there to the screws. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this one, and then you're gonna have some snaps around here. When we get those off, we're gonna have to just press in on the plastic and snap those loose without breaking them. The screws on this one are all the same size, so that's good. All right, we got the screws out. Now getting this can be a little bit of a pain, so I'm gonna show you a trick right here. Of course, this void's all warranty. So we'll take the screwdriver right here. Just gonna get started just like that. Just hard enough not to break anything, just to pop that loose. I'm gonna go right through here. We're gonna just unsnap it with our fingers from there. Right. Pull that right off right there. There's the inside, not too intimidating, right? You can see here it's got brackets. These may or may not be broken on this one. They were on the other one, so I came prepared with super glue. Well, the brackets on this one look good, but if these were broken, you would of course want to pull this up, put some super glue under where it's the part where it's broken, and then just on one side only, and then just push that right back into place, and then let it sit there for a few minutes, you know, and you want to kind of keep your hand on it for a minute, make sure it bonds. And then when you put it back together, just make sure everything lines up and stuff. This one right here is good. We're not gonna need the super glue on this one, but it's good to have handy while you're in there. Now, I just cleaned this fan not too long ago, a couple months ago, so it's not real bad. The other one was a little worse, which prompted me to make this video. This one right here is actually still pretty clean, so we're gonna wipe the inside of that down with a wipey. And here, we still got some hair build up inside here and just a little bit around the motor and around where the bearings are and stuff. You want to get all the hair off that, and for that we're just going to use this toothbrush right here. We're going to get down in there. This kind of slides up and down, floats up and down a little bit, so you can get your toothbrush in there, and you can also take some wipes and kind of floss it through there too. We're just going to take a wipe and we're going to take this toothbrush and we're going to get all the recesses that we can right here before we start it, and we're just going to get this hair out and stuff. Now I know what you're going to do when you get in here to get most of this dust out is you're going to blow in it. You're going to go and when you do, all that dust is going to come up and hit you in the face, so be sure to be wearing some sunglasses or something to protect your eyes. To go without saying, be very careful when you're in here. You know, you got things that are plugged in that's got little brackets that might snap or something, so be careful going around there. Like I said, this one isn't as dirty. I cleaned it not too long ago, but you can still see there's all kind of stuff on the brush and hair and stuff that shouldn't be in the motor, so we're just going to get most of that out of there. Blow on it just a tiny bit, protect our eyes. This step, make sure you be very careful. We're going to take this right here. It's plugged in, the back is off of it. I've got it on full speed right here. I'm going to take this toothbrush and just lightly run it up and down, not enough to affect the motor. If you hear it slowing down, then you're pressing too hard. But first, we're going to hold down the top right here, and you can skip this step if you don't feel safe or comfortable. I don't recommend you do it, honestly. This is just what I do, because I've done this a whole bunch. You can hear the motor slowing down a little bit. I've already done it a while ago. I got most of the dust out. You know, and if you're brave, you can also blow in it and knock a lot of that residual dust out. But I mean, if you really want to get it clean, because this is the air that's blowing through your house, you're gonna have to do something like this, or you can just leave it stopped completely and just wipe it all down with a wipe, you know, if that's what you feel more comfortable doing. All right, I got the inside pretty much as clean as it can get. It doesn't have to be perfect. There's some places that might just aggravate you, or it's impossible to get everything out of there, but it's a lot cleaner than it was, and you will automatically notice. Your sinuses will definitely thank you. All right, I'm gonna slide this right back in place. I can't do that with the phone in my hand and get it in there correctly, so I'm gonna slide this in place. I'm gonna snap all this in and put the screws back in it. That's snapped in there really easy. Once you get it slid into place and everything lined up, you can just kind of tap it down and it'll pop all back in place. Like I said earlier, the screws are all the same size, so I don't have to remember which ones go where. They're all the same size. All right, we've got the fan all back together, all the screws lined up perfectly. You can see all this is lined up perfectly. Nothing's out of alignment. If it's out of alignment or it's not snapped in right, you might have, like I said, a broken bracket inside. Make sure to inspect all that and make sure you get all the parts back in. It's very simple. Just gotta everything, you know, just make sure everything's aligned and everything's tight where it should be. You don't want any malfunction or it not operating correctly. Merciful clean air. It's so hot outside. Oh, so nice. So good.
Maniac on the floor.